Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane Morris here, and this is live stream number 40. We're making it pretty far here, so... And I've got to apologize, actually, because last week's stream, the whole time that I was sharing how to make your own backing tracks, how to record, kind of how that process works, of being able to produce music, I did not realize that the way I had things set up, it was only showing the window of my recording software, but was not showing the arrow. So you couldn't see what I was pointing at, couldn't see what I was talking about. And then every time I would open up a new tool, like some kind of plugin or something that I would use, it wouldn't even show up. So you were probably not really sure what I was talking about. I mean, to some degree, you can kind of understand, but because of all that, I'm going to sort of review everything that we talked about last week. Not extensively, but I'm just going to kind of briefly go over it so that you can visually see what were the tools I was talking about that can help you record your own songs or kind of get an idea of what goes into making music and backing tracks and that kind of thing like that. So anyway, we're going to talk more about, producing music. The topic here is how you don't need a band. We're talking about how technology has advanced so far where you can sort of be your own band. You can record your own songs, create your own backing tracks, kind of like I'm going to be doing this evening, and perform them. And you can play your songs for people, no matter what instrument you play. So we're going to dive into the production side of that and what goes in there. And we'll briefly talk about some of the performance side as well. So anyway, again, I apologize. If you're eager to get to the topic, there is a link in the description with a timestamp leading to the topic. But for right now, while we're waiting for more people to show up, don't be shy, say hello. And let me ask you guys, do you do any recording? Have you recorded any songs before? And if so, what DAW do you use? A DAW is a digital audio workstation, for those of you who don't know. But, have you ever messed around with that stuff? Kind of, let me know what your experience is with that. I'm going to go ahead and play a song while we're waiting for more people to show up. And then we're going to dive right into the topic. This one's called Brothers to the End. Unbreakable, bonded by our passion, undeniable, brothers till the very end. Just a bunch of outcasts, only meant for slaughter, but we will overcome this if we can band together. Look into my eyes, grab a hold of my hand, remember who we are, brothers till the very end. Remember who we are. Never thought I'd be alone, always thought I'd have stripped of all its meaning. It's just me. I know it's just me. Distant, pregnant, shattered pieces. Lego. Thanks, Stan. Appreciate that. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. We're going to dive into our topic in just a moment here. We've been talking about, this is part 2, but we've been talking about how things have sort of advanced in technology. And if you needed to, which sometimes this day and age you do need to, if you needed to, you don't really need a band. You can do so much by yourself. And it's pretty awesome. I mean, the song I just performed, the way I had things set up, you couldn't really see what was going on. Hold on, I hope that wasn't important. Let me know if you can still see me. Am I still live? What is that? Okay, all right. I was getting some kind of notification from OBS, and then it just said reconnection successful. So hopefully we're okay here. All right. All right, cool. Good, good, good. Okay, so let me get something set up real quick. All right, in a moment here, you're going to see this. I'm going to get this a little closer. There we go. All right, you're going to see this like never-ending portal. Boom. It's like, you can see all that. And it's because it's showing my computer screen, but my computer screen is showing the camera, so it creates this infinity-like thing. But what we want to bring up is this. So this is my recording software. Let me kind of skip to the end here. All right, let's dive into this topic. So let me explain something real quick. So what I had talked about last week was what you're seeing here. This is a recording program. It's a software called Logic Pro. There are different ones. These are known as Digital Audio Workstations, or DAW. And these are programs that allow you to digitally record music. And there's so many different tools here. Basically, we've got this grid. You can see all this here, and you can see these markers, these numbers here, and you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they repeat. These are the measures, basically. And so it kind of helps you. You just hit record, and from left to right, it's going to record the audio, and you can physically see, basically in the graph, you can skip ahead to which part in the song you want to get to, what you need to edit, what you need to tweak. So that's what this program allows you to do. And now you can see my arrow, so that's good. Please let me know. Can you see my arrow? Say, yes, I can see the arrow, if you can see the arrow. But you should be able to see it now. So last time I'm like talking and pointing at things, and you can't even tell what I'm pointing at. So I'm going to just briefly go over. Last time I talked about how this little section here where it says global tracks, if you open that up, you can adjust the tempo. We've got this blue line here, and if you click on it and you hold on it, you can move the tempo up and speed it up. Like we can speed it all the way up to like 200 or something, and then we could slow it down to like 50s or something like that. I'm just going to keep it at 120 for now. So that's pretty important, just being able to set the tempo of your song, whatever it is you might be creating. And then over here, we've got tracks. These are the tracks for the individual instruments. This is my guitar right here. This little button right here, that means it's live, that input. So if I turn that off, the guitar doesn't come through anymore. So that's my guitar that I'm playing through. This is a clean tone that I'll use for some songs. There's my vocals right there. Hey, you can see the audio levels down here. Hey, when I talk. What else we got around here? And then, just some other instruments and stuff. So basically the way this works, I had mentioned this last time, but you couldn't see it. I was pointing to this arrow right here. So if you, arrow, pointing to this plus sign. So if you click on that, brings up a couple options here, and this I don't think came up either, but there's two options that we're going to focus on. There's this audio option or this software instrument. Don't worry too much about external MIDI, but yeah, so if we click audio and then create, bam, it creates this audio track. So an audio track is any kind of instrument that you physically record. So with a microphone or an instrument cable that you're plugging directly into your computer. Well, not directly into the computer, into your interface. We'll talk about that in a second. But, recording a real instrument, basically. So we've got this audio track now, and it can be anything we want it to be. Let me just see what's going on in the chat real quick. Glitches, but stayed good. Cool. Hey, Daniel, thanks for stopping by. Hey, guys, stopping by for a bit at work. Good to see you, Daniel. I'm actually having to kind of review what I talked about last week, just because I realize now that you guys couldn't see my arrow, and you couldn't even see the plugins I was opening up. In a moment here, Daniel, if you stick around, I'll try to get to it quickly. But the amp designer thing that we were talking about last time with the the different mics and the different cabs and amps, you couldn't even see it. I feel so bad. Like, I was talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, you just do this and that, and you can't even see what I'm working with. So now you guys should be able to see it. But yeah, so basically, we've got a track right now, an audio track, and over here, this browser, this allows me to access the files of my computer. This is a library for Logic Pro that's got all these different instruments and effects that you can grab, and then there are loops right here. These are pre-recorded instruments or little beats or guitar licks or bass lines, whatever it might be, and you can just grab these and start. You can play with this stuff. You don't have to record at all. So what I had done last time was I went to drums. Let's see here. So yeah, we've got these different drum kits here. You can play them, and you'll hear that drum beat. So I'll just grab one of these, and you just drag it into the timeline here. And real quick, I'm just going to make it so that I can hear it. I know you guys can hear it because I watched the replay. Let me do this. So don't worry about what I'm doing right now. This is my monitoring so I can hear what's going on in the program. All right, there we go. So now I've just dragged that in here. So if I play, you can hear it. And you could see this little, I don't know what you call this. I don't know what that is. But that's like the timeline or whatever. This shows you where you're at in the timeline, I guess. So you can see as this passes over the audio, it plays it. And I could just grab a bunch of these and just drag them in and create drum beats and stuff. So there's another one right there. And then I can select that, I can copy it and paste it, because that sounded pretty cool, and then it'll play it twice. Or another thing I could do, last time I was showing how if you touch the corner here, but of course you couldn't see the arrow key, see how it turns into a little loopy thing? You click and you drag, and you can loop that beat, so it'll repeat that same beat over again. So those are some ways to get started. If you don't play drums, you've got these little loops here that you can work with. The other thing you can do, that's an audio track. We could also create a software instrument. So a software instrument, unlike an audio track that's actual recorded audio, like it was recorded with a microphone or it was recorded with an instrument cable. A software instrument is something in the computer. It's something that you program. You program the drum beat, or you program the bass line or whatever. So there are, if I have this selected over here, these are software instruments. So I can make it sound like a bass. I can make it sound like a keyboard. Of course, drums is what we're going to look at now. Even guitar and orchestral instruments like your strings and that kind of thing. Let's see. Let's look in the chat. We can see your arrow now. Okay, that's good. Stopped by a little bit last week, but was in Hawaii. Dude, that's awesome. What are you doing? You on vacation, or do you have a job there or something? That's really cool. How's Hawaii been? I remember you were going over your cab and mic options because I was curious about whether there were mic options for the cab. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and I'm about to get to that in just a moment. So with this software stuff, the way this works, you can choose an instrument. So if we wanted to make drums, I'll choose the drums here. And this has a drum machine called Ultrabeat. So I can click Ultrabeat drum kits. And these are some different drum kits. They all sound a little bit differently. I've actually made my own custom drum kit, but the one that I used to use was this one, the Studio Tight kit. So I select that. All right, you can see, so now that's track. It says Studio Tight Kit. It's got a little drum kit there. And this is technically the instrument right here where it says Ultra Beat. If I open this up, it looks like this crazy machine thing that's like really confusing. But I come down here, I click Full View, bam. And now you can see we've got this little grid here. And all these little dots, these are the different parts of the drum kit. And you just sequence them in a way so that it plays a beat. So if I hit play, you guys should be able to hear that. I can't hear it right now. Let me get my monitoring. So, but yeah, it plays a beat. And it's also got a little bass in there. I think you can probably hear that. Let me do the monitoring. All right. There we go. Okay. So I'll open that back up. So, like, I don't think you guys, well, that's not the right thing. Here we go. I don't think you guys could see this at all last time. I don't know if you could see me making these drum beats. So what we've got here, the way this works, this might look kind of confusing. I'm going to clear off all these dots. So I'm just going to open up another little template here. If you look right here, there's actually a piano. These are piano keys. See that? These are like the white notes, and these are the black notes right there. And basically all this is doing is it's taking piano notes, and you are assigning a drum sound to each piano note. So this is a C, but if you play it, it sounds like a kick drum. And then here's our snare on E. We've got some toms. And then this black note here is an open hi-hat. And this one down here is a closed hi-hat. Okay? So then this sequencer, again, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can change the timing and stuff, but you just choose when you want the machine to play whatever part of the instrument. So like I can put the kick, let's put the kick at the beginning of each downbeat, you know, basically. So if I play that, it's just going to be kick, kick. All right, let's get rid of these, like every other kick, and let's replace it with a snare. So this is the snare line note right here. So I'm going to add a note here and here. So now it's going to go kick, snare, kick, snare. All right, and then we'll start with a crash at the beginning, and then we'll do a hi-hat. Let's see. I'm already committed, but I should have just done quarter notes, but whatever. We'll do eighth notes. There we go. There's our closed hi-hat. So now we've got a beat. So I just click and drag this into our drum timeline here, and there's our beat right there. You can see it looks different than the audio file. It's not like that wavy, you know, you can see down here, that's an audio file, like the wave there, that's pre-recorded. This, instead, these are MIDI notes. These are programmed notes, you know, from like an internal keyboard. So now when I play it, though, it's going to play that same beat. Okay? So I figured to kind of demonstrate this, I'm going to go ahead and like make a little song here and kind of just show you how this works. So that would be like the first beat. Let's get rid of the crash for the next one. And let's see if we can. We'll just do something like that. I'm not going to like write the greatest song in the world. I just need something for an example. All right, then we'll do that first beat again, so I can just select it, copy it, and then paste it right there. So that kind of saves some time. And then let's do a fill at the end here. So we've got our beat, boom, boom, pop, pop, boom, boom, pop, pop. And then let's do like a fill here. Sorry, I'm making up a fill. See what this sounds like. Sounded pretty sloppy. Oh, I just realized. All right, so this isn't my custom drum kit, so that's why it doesn't sound good. So. That might work. Let's have a listen. Kind of weird. here. Let's do. Da, da. Yeah, this might sound a little better. Yeah, there we go. All right, there's our fill. So there we go. So now we've got a sequence, and then the nice thing is you can just copy all this. We'll copy all this, and we can paste it so it plays again. And then let's just add an ending real quick. After that fill, we'll just end. I like to just end with a crash and a kick, you know. I mean, not always, but that's pretty common, you know. So we'll just clear all this off. There we go, and there's our ending. Just like that. All right. So I'm going to play this, and let's see what's going on in the chat. But we'll have a listen to this. I guess you can probably see when I'm looking at the chat. Aloha. Yes, Daniel. So this is a drum machine that comes with Logic Pro. So this was built in. When I was first introduced to this software, my brother-in-law showed me. I used to work with loops. They had all these. If I go to the library here, which right now it's on software instruments, but if I went to audio, it had all these pre-recorded drum loops, and I used to just work with that for a while. And then he showed me Ultrabeat, the drum machine, and you were able to make your own drum beats. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Plus, you know, and if you don't know how to make drum beats, there are actually pre-recorded drum loops on here. I'll see if I can find any. I'm not sure how to. Oh, you select that, I think. Here we go. Oh, I feel like an idiot. Loops right there. All right, here we go. So yeah, so these loops, so these blue ones, these are the audio ones, but these loops, these are beats that have already been programmed. So like we've got our drum kit, so I could grab one of these loops here. Like let's try this one, and let's just see what this sounds like. Okay. Now one problem, because I'm using, I think there's a specific drum beat for these loops, so the one I was using might not work that well with this loop here. But usually, you just set up an audio, a software instrument, and then you just click and drag, and it will set the software instrument automatically to the appropriate drum type. Not too bad, yeah, so cool. So those are like pre-made, you know, beats and fills that you can just click and drag. So if you don't play drums, you can just kind of browse through this library here of loops and see what you can find. And you can look up different genres. You can, you know, be specific if you're looking up, you know, just drum beats or whatever it might be. All right, so there we go. So we've got a drum beat now. All right, so let's talk about guitars real quick. We're going to talk about guitars, and then we'll talk about bass. So here's my guitar right here. But for the sake of this example, I'm actually going to start fresh. So let's create a new audio track. All right. Here we go. And let me just get my monitoring real quick so I can hear it. All right, so this is just a plain audio track. Nothing on it, no plugins, nothing manipulating the sound. So I'm going to turn my guitar off. If I hit instrument on this, my guitar is already plugged in. Oh, by the way, yeah, I know I showed this to you guys last time, but for anyone who hasn't seen, oh, yeah, so there we go. There's our infinite loop there. Why can't we see that? That's interesting. I don't know why we can't see the interface. Okay, let me try something different real quick. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Is this it? All right, here we go. Here's a picture of the interface I use. Last time I was talking about this, but again, you couldn't see the arrow, so you couldn't see what I was pointing to. This is the front of it. You adjust the volume there. This is where you plug in your headphones. But this is the back of it. Now, this is actually an older interface that uses Firewire. My computer has Firewire. Most interfaces are going to have USB inputs, most likely. So, yeah, you just... but whether it's USB or Firewire or whatever, you plug in there, and then this goes into your computer. And then what this interface allows you to do, you can see we've got inputs here for an instrument cable. So I can go from my guitar into this, and then from here into the computer. So that's how I'm able to plug my guitar or whatever instrument into the computer. These are the outputs, so if you have studio monitors, you can use those. So yeah, so that's how I'm plugging my guitar into the computer. And this is what it sounds like with nothing, no effects. It's just a plain direct signal of the guitar. Thanks, Stan. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, Stan. All right, let's see here. What am I trying to do now? Oh, yeah, so we're making a guitar tone. So my guitar's plugged in, but we want it to sound better. So this was the plugin I was trying to show you guys last time, but y'all couldn't even see it. So in Logic Pro, we've got all right, these little boxes here, they allow you to use tools. You can see these little blue boxes. These are all tools that I'm using on each track. So this one doesn't have any, so if I click this first slot, these are called plugins because you plug them in, and they have different ways of manipulating. You can see these different categories. That's the one we're going to look at, the amps and pedals. But you can add delay, distortion. You can control dynamics with compressors and things like that. You can equalize, all these different tools to manipulate the sound. But we're going to look at this one, and there's a plugin in Logic Pro called Amp Designer, and it's pretty cool. And bam, now please tell me you can see that. Please tell me, yes, I can see the amp right here, and I can see that cab with the microphone in front of it. So this is a great plugin to start off with because it gives you a visual of what you're working with. This is your amp, and you can adjust the setting, the sound you want. So, of course, this is like a clean amp, so it doesn't sound that much different. If I turn the gain up, you'll hear like some, more of the distortion and stuff. I'll turn that master back down a little bit. Okay. But you can swap all this out, so and you can combine them. There are presets here, I believe. So if I hit British combo, yeah, so there's like that. Let's try a different combo. Let's see, like this sunshine stack. So yeah, you can kind of play with that, but you can make your own combinations. I can choose whatever amp head I want. Let's try this silver face. And I can change the cab over here, right here. So, to whatever it might be. And you can change the mic. Right now we've got a ribbon mic on there, but you can choose a dynamic or a condenser microphone. So we'll go dynamic. And then this little grid comes up here. You can move it closer or further away. You can move it more to the outside of the speaker or closer to the cone, the direct spot, So this is a really cool plugin just to understand how recording guitars works. Hey, Pablo. Nice to have you joining us. We're talking about, I don't know if you rewatched the stream from last week, but I'm actually having to redo a little bit of what I shared last week. We're talking about kind of how technology allows you, you don't necessarily need a whole band to make songs and stuff. So we're talking about kind of what goes into making backing tracks. And I'm showing you guys what's going on with Logic Pro. So, yeah, this is the recording software I use. I'll show you. All this right here, which Pablo, I know you do some recording, so you're probably familiar with a bit of this. But I made a little drum beat. I just kind of demonstrated how you can make a drum beat with the drum machine that comes with Logic Pro. Here's the drum machine, Ultra Beat, and you can just kind of program your own drum beat. I just did something very simple. And now we're looking at guitar tones. So I started a new track here. And yeah, Logic Pro comes with this plugin called Amp Designer. That's what we're looking at right now. And it's not like, I should say for metal and stuff, it might be a little challenging to get like a really good metal tone out of this. This is what I had for a long time. But, you know, if you're just doing clean tones or like a punk rock tone or something like that, this is a pretty cool plugin. And I think it's great for beginners just because it gives you a really good visual of, you know, the process of recording guitars and stuff. So if we wanted to go with a metal tone, like I said, I can't even remember what amp I used to use for this. I don't know. Good gosh. Yeah, that's really noisy. But, so what I actually did, I'm going to turn this plugin off for now. I actually downloaded plugins. So the plugin I like to use for my metal tone is this one, this Legion from Poulin. Yeah, so now hopefully you guys can see this. But yeah, so you know, you can see it. It's kind of like the other plugin. It's just an amp. But of course, if I just played that, one second. So I'm going to set that up real quick. So this is just an amp. So if I don't put it through a cab, it's very harsh. It's a really nasty sound. So we need a cab to put it through. So you could, that's a free plugin, by the way, this Legion plugin here. So you could download something like this for free. And then in Logic Pro, what you can do with this plugin here, whoa, we can bypass this. So if we choose transparent preamp, so now it's like there's no amp, we're just skipping that part. Actually, let me do something real quick. How do you... Sorry, it's the cool thing about the adjustments you make on the amp, it keeps those adjustments even when you switch the other amps. But in this case, I want it to go back to just normal, so one second. So I just started over. All right, so let's go with that transparent preamp. There we go. And now I've got my amp going through this cab right here. Let's choose dynamic. Okay, and we could try different cabs. Let's try the Sunshine one. So yeah, with that, you might actually get a pretty good metal tone. So yeah. So that's pretty much how all that works. Now what I do for my sound specifically, again, it's cool that there are so many great tools that just come with Logic that you can use and stuff. And so I think for a lot of beginners, it's good to just start with, and again, if you don't have Logic Pro, ideally, your program probably comes with very similar tools. But what I would say is, for a lot of beginners, just learning to use the tools that come with your software. And once you get more familiar with it, then you can kind of branch out and see like what's out there that you can download. There's a lot of great, free software out there that you can download and get some great results and stuff. So I went ahead and just kind of copy and pasted my settings. So this is my metal tone that I use. And we're going to go with that for now. And we're going to record a few guitars in just a moment here. Let's see. Have to head back. Y'all have a good night. All right, we'll see you later, Daniel. Definitely, we'll have to hear more about your trip from Hawaii. So it sounds like, from what I heard, sounds like there was some crazy weather, but hopefully it was a good time and stuff. Had to be a fun experience, I'm sure. Oh, it's a Logic Pro plugin. I was thinking that the plugin was Amplitude or something similar. It probably is similar to something like Amplitude. It's pretty cool that Logic Pro comes with its own amp designer kind of plugin. But I know there are definitely other softwares out there and stuff. But that's kind of that's definitely what's cool is that there are so many things here. Even the drum machine, Ultra Beat. There are other drum machines that you can buy and other drum programs you can buy and stuff. But it's cool that this stuff can get you started and at least sort of like learn how to even use those kind of tools. And then if you need something a little more I don't even want to say high quality because you can get high quality results if you learn how to use these tools. But just to get something more the sound that you're after, then you can sort of branch out and buy other programs and things like that. But yeah, let's try recording something real quick. So we've got a guitar here. I'm actually going to put this down here. Here's our basic drum beat. So I'm just going to, let me write something real quick for this. Let's see. What's going on here? All right. Let's see. We'll just go with that. So let's just say that's our rhythm guitar, and I'm going to go ahead and record that. So here we go. 2, 3. Show you something real quick. So I'm just going to stop. And, oh yeah, so there's these tools here. So if I hit Command, I can bring up these scissors, and I can cut the audio right there, and then I can just delete this little bit. And I can select this, Command copy, and I'm just going to paste that. So everything I just played, I just copied it. So. Cool. So what we normally do in music production, I'm going to create a duplicate. That's what this is for. It doesn't just create a new track, but it's a duplicate track. So it's like the exact same settings as what we just did. So I'm going to record another passing of that same little riff there. And again, normally you could hear a click, but I don't have a monitoring for the click. So yeah, when I hit record, if I were to hit record, you would hear click, click, click. Yeah, and that would kind of help you stay on time and stuff, but I don't have monitoring, so that's why I can't hear it right now. I can put it on for you guys, so 1 second. So you guys can hear it. So I'm going to start here, so I cut there, and I'm going to slide this over, and then cut here. And then, you know, I could copy and paste it. The other thing I could have done, I could have just clicked it and dragged like that. They're both the same. So I did 2 passings, and the reason I did 2 recordings is because if you just copy and paste the same recording, the audio files line up so perfectly that they go mono. Like you can't. They're identified as one sound, so they just blend together too well. So because humans are imperfect, you know, I can't, you know, no matter how tight I play, I can't, you know, recreate this first audio thing. So by recording it twice, we've got, you know, the same chord progression, but they're slightly different. So now this one, what we can do is we can pan it to the left, boom, and then I'm going to select this one, and we're going to pan it to the right. So now we get this nice wide guitar sound. At least I think it. Why does that not sound? That doesn't sound very wide to me. It might just be in my head, but I'm pretty sure. Let's see, I'll mess around with that real quick. How do you decide if you use an amp overdrive or pedal? It depends what I'm... Oh, okay, that's actually a good question. I think it just depends on what tone you're going after and what you're trying to accomplish. For me, when I was looking for a metal tone, through lots of trial and error and research, I discovered this amp, the Legion. And this is the primary source of my tone, but there is this other plugin I put before it, this TS808, And all this really does, it just tightens it up. Like I can even, 1 second. So I'll play just the guitar track right here. All right, I'm going to play it. And listen what happens when I cut on and off this plugin. I'm going to cut it off. Hear how it's a little woofier. And then I cut it on. It's a little tighter. Gives it a little more punch. And so, so that's like a pedal, you know, a software pedal that I am using. But that by itself, if I were to just keep that on and if I turn the amp off, you can see it, you know, barely sounds distorted at all. Now you might be able to crank up the drive, you know, but you can't get nearly the amount of distortion that you get from this amp here. But that's not what that plugin is. That pedal is for anyway. There are pedals with more distortion. From my, well, it just depends what you use. From my understanding, I do think, at least for metal, it's usually better to get your distortion from the amp. But there are some pretty good, like I know Horizon Devices makes some pretty good pedals that you can get a good metal tone out of. Guys, I'm going to try to wrap this up. Let me see what's going on. Like, why does that not sound like, see, sorry, 1 second. So this, all right, 1 second, I found it, yeah. Let me try that again. So I've got this set to mono. There we go, stereo, stereo. All right, now, now it should sound wide. And it doesn't. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, that still sounds like it's coming up the middle. Oh, I think I figured it out. All these plugins I had before, they're all mono. No, that says stereo. There's got to be a mono plugin in here somewhere. Maybe if we just change this to input. No? Not gonna lie, I'm a little unsure why that's happening right now. Unless it's one of these plugins. Sometimes these plugins will be set on mono, but they seem to be set on stereo. I think it has something to do with this input thing right here. What if we do no input? Yeah, why is that? You can even see it's coming out. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little baffled. It's probably something with the streaming that's kind of throwing it off. I've got one more idea I could try real quick. All right, so let's move this track up here. I'm going to make a duplicate of my track and delete that. Move this here. Okay, let's pan this to the left. All right, let's see if that fixed it. There we go. All right, so you hear how one is on the left and the other one's on the right. So that creates like a wider, bigger sound. Now we just need some bass in there. So, last thing, I'm going to go through this really quick, but what I showed you guys last time was, again, you hit this little plus icon, and we create a new software track. Again, there are amp plugins on here. You can plug in a real bass, but if you don't have a real bass, you can actually program one. So we've got all these tools here. So if we go to bass, and electric bass, and this one, attitude bass, so we pick that, it changes the instrument here. So that's technically this little plugin here is what's creating the bass sound. And the way this works, just like these, here, I'll show you something real quick. So let's see. So down here at the bottom, this is where I can bring up my mixer, so I can, kind of move across all the tracks, add in all the plugins and stuff. But if I go here to piano roll, you can see that there's this piano on the side here. And remember what I was saying about the drum, the studio kit here. These are, this is like the same thing as the drum machine. These are the piano notes. So this C right here, that's a kick drum. And then this is our snare and our hi-hat. So these notes are playing drum sounds. But if I were to drag these notes up into the bass, now they're just going to sound like really goofy. Sorry. Or not sound like anything at all. Oh, no, you guys probably heard that. I don't have the monitoring. That's why I couldn't hear it. Here we go. All right, here we go. So, yeah, if you... Yeah, you can... It's because it's a drum beat that, you know, it was programmed for a drum beat, so it's just hitting like these random notes on the bass. But we're kind of going to do the same thing. So we're going to select this bass track, move our little liner at the beginning here, and we bring up that piano roll, and there's a pencil tool right here. We're going to use that. And let's pick a note. Let's see. That chord progression I'm playing. Let's see. What am I playing? C, D, E. I'm playing an F down to a D. So let's find an F. There's an F right there. That might be perfect. So I hit that note, and there it made the little track right there. Oh, and it's a little soft, so I can grab this velocity tool, so you can change the intensity of the note. So I can make it like really intense, or I can turn it down, make it really soft. So that kind of helps you program a little more realism. Usually 95 is a pretty good spot, so let's go with that. I'm just going to program. Oh, I don't really like the way that's looking right now. Why is that kind of... Yeah, whatever. And then we're going to go down to D. Whoop. And then the next one is C. Okay, yeah, cool. C. And the last one is, let's see, C, B, I think it's an A. There we go. All right, cool. So I just programmed the same chord progression that the guitars were playing. So now, you hear that bass adds a lot. And then I can just click and loop this, and there we go. Now we got a bass in there. Nothing to apologize. If you're asking questions, Pablo, that's definitely ask away. Yes, the bass that you're hearing right now is in Logic Pro. So like, yeah, I just created a software instrument. There's all these different, right here, these are different like samplers, I guess is what these are. I guess that's what they're called. There's different synths in here. There's, Ultrabeat, the drum synth or drum machine. I'm using this sampler right now, and I'm not like an expert on this stuff, but basically, I mean, Logic Pro kind of makes it easy because you just choose, when you make a new track, you just choose, are you programming an instrument or are you recording an instrument, And then when you make your track, you can just choose your settings and stuff. So again, in the library here, you just go to bass, electric bass, and then these are all different electric bass sounds, and you just choose one, and it automatically makes your MIDI notes sound like electric bass. The other thing you could do, I like to just program it in the computer. It's just more convenient. But these notes that you're hearing, you could plug in a keyboard or a synth, with a USB. And if you played those same notes, they would sound like this bass. You know, that's basically what's happening. So it's kind of like playing piano, but a really long way of doing it. You know, not that you even have to be able to play piano. You just got to know what notes that you're trying to play and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. And I'm going to do like one last thing here. Let's record like a little guitar solo or something. So audio, there we go. Now ideally for, well, I can try this 1 second. Whoops, I think I did the wrong thing. I'm going to create a duplicate of these. And yeah, this will be our guitar solo, so we're going to put it center. We're going to put it in the middle. And usually I would, usually I would use a different amp. I'm just going to use the same tone for now, but usually I would use a different tone for lead tones. But here we go. So let me just kind of play like a little... I'm not going to worry about like a straight up guitar solo, but let's just have like this little lead part come in here. So we'll do it right there. Okay, so yeah, so I just recorded that, and you can see that that lead guitar part's going to come in right here. So when I hit play, here it comes, 1, 2, ready. Now something like that, I would probably normally record it twice and pan it left and right, just like these other things. But what I wanted to demonstrate real quick was, so how do you take all this and turn it into a backing track? Actually, one last thing I want to try. Let's see if I can record some vocals here. I'm just going to make up something, so don't expect, you know, anything great. Here we go. Let's give this a shot. That was bad. All right, try that again. Because I don't know what melody I'm singing, so here we go. So not the greatest thing ever, but if you listen to that, I could play it back. All right, so we got a little song here, okay? So I wanted to record all these parts so I can show you how does like a backing track work. Let's see here. I guess it's got a little ZZ Top. I don't know. The chord progression sounds a little emo for me. ZZ Top's a little more bluesy. But maybe it's a similar rhythm to something that they might do. But anyway. All right. So the way this would be a backing track, so if it were one of my songs like that I performed for you guys, basically I just mute the vocals. So for now I'm just going to put them there. I can't mute them because if I hit mute, you're not going to be able to hear me. So... But you mute the vocals, and then what I would do is, let's say that this right guitar is me. Well, I have a choice here. So for this lead part, do I want to play this lead part, or am I going to be too busy singing to play that lead part? So usually if there's like a little background element like this lead part, I'm going to be doing too much, so I can't sing and play it at the same time. So what I would do, this is going to be my guitar right here, so I'm going to mute that. and then I'm going to merge these two. So while this is playing rhythm, instead of this part continuing to play the rhythm, I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to move this lead part and combine it with that first part. So now you'll hear that this guitar, you'll hear just the left guitar, and it'll go from this rhythm part to the lead part. So I bounce that out, or I export that as one audio file. And what that allows me to do, I'm just going to move this down here real quick. Okay. What that allows me to do, when I play along with it, basically I can play the guitar. So now I'm playing, and I've got a microphone set up so I can sing. So this is playing. Oh, whoops. 1 second. There we go. So this is playing. And then I can just play with it. Here I come. And I can sing along. Da da da. La da 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 da. If I stop singing, if I stop playing. But yeah, that's basically all there is to a backing track. So if you were a drummer, you could do the same thing. 1 second. So like if you were a drummer, you could just leave all this stuff on and then just mute the drums. So now I don't know if you'd have vocals or not, or if you were singing and playing drums at the same time, you would mute the vocals. But basically, your backing track would sound like this. So no drums, so that you can play along with your drums. Or if you were a bassist, your track would sound like this. We would mute the bass. And there's room there for you to play bass along with that backing track. So that's kind of the performance element of it. That's how you can write your own songs and then create them in a way so that you can perform them live for other people to hear them. Anyway, sorry I went like really long with this topic and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and play some songs for you guys. Hopefully you found that kind of interesting or whatever. But yeah, if you have any questions about that, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and dive into another song here. Let me, there's our infinite loop. Bam, I'm back now. I'm going to get this mic set up. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play some more songs for you. What is my next song? Just a moment here. Oh, there we go. All right. Let me delete these other tracks. Okay, we'll go ahead and delete that too. All right, we should be good to go. Got my guitar back. Cool. See if I'll make it in time. Yeah, we're okay. This is a long intro. All right. This one's called Ascension. Pablo. Glad you enjoyed it. Not get those squealies. Thanks, Pablo. Glad you like it. This song is available on, streaming or streaming. It's available on streaming. Netflix. It's available on, what do you call them? Just music platforms, wherever you listen. Spotify, AppleMusic, Amazon, whatever it might be and stuff. So if you listen to music there, and of course it's on YouTube. The song's called Ascension. Now the harmonies, again, those harmonies are actually part of the pre-recorded backing track. So I'll play it for you real quick. So I'll go back to that beginning. There's harmony throughout the whole song. Whoops, wrong spot. But right when the song kicks in, if I just play it, you'll hear the backing track. So that's just a pre-recorded guitar that's playing the harmony part. It's panned to my side, the right side, where I'm playing as well. So then if I play along with that, so that's all that is. And same thing, just the other parts of the song where you hear the harmony guitars. It's just a pre-recorded harmony part that is panned to the right side, panned to my side, the same side my guitar is coming through. So when we play together, when we play together, we get harmony. We get harmony. So that's kind of how that works. Spotify, cool. But yeah. And then as far as so the harmony is just pre-recorded. If you're wondering how to find harmony, I don't know if you know how to do that or if you have trouble with that. I've actually made a video. It's one of my most popular videos on my YouTube channel called "How to Find Harmony." So if you haven't seen that, you'll have to check it out. It's fairly simple, but basically the way I can show you, on guitar. So that little melody I was playing. You start with your first note. And the harmony, you either go up 2 notes in scale, so you start on this note, and you got to hit notes. You don't just go up 2 notes. No, it's got to be in scale. So right there. So 1, 2, 3. And then you just lock onto that note. So here we're going down, and then, so I just move up here, and I play the same thing, you know, hitting notes in key. You know, I'm not playing the exact same thing. No, I'm hitting notes that are in key. But you're just locking into that note. So that's one thing you can do. Or I could start on that first note, and instead of going up, I could go down 2 notes in scale. So right there, and then lock on. And pretty much as far as like which one do you choose, it's just which one do you like better. You just record both and you listen to them and you just choose the one you like better. So there are some times where I'll pick the higher harmony, and then there's some times where I'll pick the lower harmony. It just depends on which one I think sounds cooler. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the harmony stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. Guys, if you have any more questions, let me know. I got to be honest, I went a little longer with the production stuff than I meant to. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll certainly help you. And by the way, I forgot to mention this, but if you want to learn more about music production kind of stuff, there are a bunch of resources in the description that you can check out. But I am going to go ahead. I'm going to dive into another song here. And but yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. This one, we'll see how this one goes. This one's an old one from my old band, and so it's got a lot of harsh vocals in it. You know, I'm still working on my own harsh vocals, and like I can do them, you know, sparingly throughout songs, but when I have to do them consistently, kind of like in this song, it can be a bit of a challenge. So we'll see how it goes. But this is an old one. This one's called "The Weight of Tomorrow."
Is building,
Tearing me apart,
I'm falling, collapsing.
I can't believe that my
Foundation is breaking.
I stand on weathered ground,
I'm waiting and praying
that hope can be found.
Calm your worried mind.
Sorry about that. Something kind of got in my way and sort of threw me off. I'm not sure what was happening. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I was trying to read your questions right now. I can't quite understand what you're asking. The weird harmony and the rhythm part. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what exactly you're asking about. Pretty much in that song. I mean, most of the time, you know, the other song is playing river parts, and then I'm either playing something to harmonize with it and stuff. It's just if there were certain melodies that needed a harmony to it, that's where on my side it would have a little bit of that arrow in it or whatever. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully I'm okay. Sorry about that interruption there. Previous song, as in what was it? The Ascension song, the instrumental one, or the song I was just doing. I mean, so far I've done. Let's see, what is the song called? The Weight of Tomorrow is what I'm doing right now, and then before that it was Ascension, and then the first song I did was what is that song? Brothers to the End, or whatever. So, all right, I'm going to try that song again. Let's see if I can get through it. I'm okay. To be honest, I don't know what happened. It's happened before. How do I explain it? I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. Every now and then I'll get these weird little bursts of where, like, I really don't know how to explain it. I'll get these little bursts where I don't know, like, I kind of don't know how to speak or what to say and stuff. And I don't know if it's related to my, I've had nocturnal seizures before, not to get into, like, you know, real personal stuff, but I don't know if this is related or if this is something else, but I've never had a seizure while I've been awake, but some nights when I go to sleep, from time to time I will have a seizure in my sleep. So it's like nocturnal epilepsy. So I don't know if this is related to that, but there are these times where, like, I'll be playing or I'll just be doing something, and then I kind of get this weird, like, I don't know, like, I can't think, I can't really speak, and it's almost like a weird cramping in my right hand and stuff. And I don't know, it's really weird. I don't know how to describe it, and it usually kind of comes and then sort of fades away pretty quickly and stuff. So, yeah, sorry you had to witness that and stuff, but yeah, hopefully I'm all right. I'm going to try that song again, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, the instrumental was called Ascension.
The pressure is building,
Tearing me apart.
I'm falling, collapsing.
I can't believe that my
Foundation is breaking.
I stand on weathered ground,
I'm waiting and praying.
and hope can be found.
Calm your worried mind. Open up your eyes and suck it up. Go and hug up. My foundation is breaking.
Stand on weathered ground,
I'm waiting and praying.
and hope can be found. Standing all alone, well, it must be hard to hold. The weight of today. Don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow.
No, it can't be. This feeling,
It's overwhelming me.
it will not defeat me.
This is not the end.
Calm your worried mind. Open up your eyes and suck it up. You're fucking up.
Standing all alone. Well, it must be hard to hold. The weight of tomorrow. Live life today. Don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow. Standing all alone. Well, it must be hard to hold. The weight of tomorrow. Live life today. Don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, guys. It's I don't know. I don't know. You hate to drop, health concerns on you and stuff. As far as like the epilepsy stuff, I've actually been dealing with that for about 10 years now or something. And again, in the 10 years, it's only ever happened in my sleep. So I don't have, it's not like I get triggered epilepsy from flashes or anything like that. But just every few months or so, it changes. Sometimes I'll go several months without having an episode. Sometimes I'll go just a couple weeks without having one. But I'll just wake up and I can tell, usually the worst thing and the biggest giveaway is that I'll bite my tongue in the process and stuff, and just my body will be sore. I'd say in the past couple years, though, I've had these sort of weird blankouts that have happened. So, I got to be honest, definitely have it's got my attention, but I think it's probably related to the seizure stuff, but I don't know that for sure. And it kind of comes and goes. Again, I'll go through periods of time where it doesn't happen, and then it'll just kind of happen randomly, like it did. I've done, I think out of the 40 streams, I think that's maybe the first time that it's happened in a live stream or something like that. So hopefully it shouldn't be the norm, but. Yeah, so sorry it happened live, but I appreciate your thoughts, your concerns, and maybe keep me in your prayers if you don't mind. But let's see. Again, sorry to rush things along. If you guys have any more questions related to the music stuff that we were going, and Pablo, I know you kind of joined while I was lecturing, so let me ask, how have you been? How are things coming along with you? Are you working on any projects that you're excited about right now? I'd certainly love to hear about that. But I'm gonna have a look and see what's the next song I plan on playing for you guys. Cool. Dream Theater solo. That's probably pretty tricky. Definitely, going to take some practice, but I'm sure you can do it. Definitely let me know when you post it or whatever. I'll check it out. On Instagram, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. Well, let's see. I think the only other thing I was going to share, normally I would do 2 more songs, but I went a little longer than I meant to with the tutorial kind of thing and stuff. I got to, work on that. But I think I'm just going to do 1 more song for this evening. Not sure if I know that one, but I'll look up that song. Spirit Carries On by Dream Theater. I know a few of their songs. But yeah, I'll definitely check that one out. And yeah, if you post it on Instagram, I'll keep an eye out for it. But yeah, been working on some things. I'm trying to get another song released, and I'm trying to make some preparations so that I can start playing some shows live. Obviously, I do these live streams, but I'm hoping to play some shows locally. And I've got most of what I need there, but there's a couple business side of things that I'm trying to kind of get in place first before I, step out and start doing all of that. So that's kind of the main thing, and I'm working on a song that I'm trying to release. Again, just trying to get through the mixing stage of it, so we'll see. I'm not sure how much longer till it's going to be released, but definitely planning to release a new song up and coming. But yeah, if you have any more questions and stuff, sorry if I feel like I'm kind of cutting this a little short. I'll try not to go so long next time with whatever I explain and stuff for the topic. But I've got 1 more song for you guys. So this one's called Get Up Again. Hope you like it. Here we go.
tried it. It's not the first and won't be the last time. So get up again.
Thank you. All right, so the live preparation, so far it's going along pretty good. I had ordered some pieces, just some things I need. As far as like actually performing, I pretty much got, it's the same rig that I've got here, but I did need my own mic stand. The mic stand I'm using here, I'm actually borrowing from the church that I'm in right now. So I needed my own mic stand. I do have a mic that I use. I mostly have cables. I think I was good on cables. Some of the interesting things, like I would assume that the venue has a direct box, but just in case they didn't, I purchased I've actually got a stereo direct box so that I can plug into both and then go into 2 different channels and they could pan me left and right so that it's all stereo and stuff. But worst case, it doesn't sound that bad if I were to go through a mono signal. Let's see here. Let me think, what else? As far as monitoring and stuff, but yeah, so the music stuff, I've kind of got that figured out. I've even got a table. I already had one table to set up my laptop and stuff for the live show. So that's all pretty good. But then I needed another table for merch and stuff. And I've got a little clipboard with a sign-up sheet so people can sign up for my email list. I took a shoebox and I made a little tip jar. Those are like the main things right now, and then I'm actually in the process. I'm trying to get a logo made and some stuff so that I have a design that I can put on guitar picks, and I think that's probably gonna be the first piece of merch I make, and then gradually as I build up more and more of a fan base, I'm gonna make other types of merch, T-shirts and stickers and that kind of thing. So it's coming along good. It's continuing to process through that, and but yeah, so far. It's coming along pretty smoothly. And as far as a manager goes, no, I don't have a manager. As far as gigs go, I've got a friend through the skateboard industry, and there is a skateboard event that is going to have live music there. So through him, I have some connections like that. So through him, I was able to get that gig. So I'm actually planned for a gig later this summer that's related to the skateboarding community. So that's really cool because I like skateboarding. I get to play my music with the skaters and stuff. So that's cool. I've got another friend who is actually running a venue. So I kind of have connections through him. And then once I start playing live shows, I do intend to do a little more research, see what other venues are around me locally, and just trying to get gigs there and stuff. So I don't have a manager right now. Not sure if and when I will need a manager, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Thanks, Stan. I appreciate that, and maybe that's the case. Maybe sometimes I think a little too much or something, and then the brain just kind of, burns out some. Could be. And thank you for complimenting on the playing, Pablo. I appreciate that. And you're right, I was sharing the logo. And as of right now, I am talking with a graphic designer, and I haven't officially, signed on with her, I guess you could say. But we did meet, we did talk, and she seems like a good fit for it. There's a couple things I need to figure out for sure before I commit to working with her, but we did have a good discussion, and even more so, she seemed actually interested. Like I didn't want to just hire someone who was like, all right, what do you want, and I'll make it. I wanted to hire someone who would help me find the right logo and stuff. So she liked the circle and the triangle, the simplicity of it, and but of course, which I had already known this, but Pablo, you actually pointed this out, that in its current state, it did look kind of like a computer logo. And the main reason for that was because even as I made it, like it was hard enough for me just to figure out how to make a circle, and then how to figure out how to make a triangle. Like that's when I decided, like, okay, I'm going to need to hire someone. So that was really just a concept, like the circle and the triangle, but I'm not yet sure what color or what texture, and there's a possibility we might go a different route. We might not do the circle triangle, but I think she's going to play with that some. But yeah, obviously we want it to look, represent the style of music a little bit more, but that was just the idea of creating a cue out of the circle and the triangle. Thanks, Stan. Yeah, Stan is very likely going to be my hype man and hopefully help me out when I start playing some live shows and stuff. And just to give you guys a little sneak peek, there's no guarantee in this, but when I was talking about, we were talking about my branding and my logo and that stuff, there's actually a possibility I might change my artist name to just Quincy Kane rather than Quincy Kane Morris. One, it's a little bit shorter, so it's not so much to have to search or type or something. And it kind of rolls off nicely, the K, Quincy Kane, And then that way, for a logo, it's just a QK and stuff. So it could be just a Q or it could be Q and K, that kind of thing. I had thought of that before, and I talked to her with it, and she seemed to be on board with the idea. We haven't completely agreed. Again, like I said, I still have to kind of see if we're going to go through this project together. And then depending on, what concepts she presents to me, like I don't know if she's going to roll with the Quincy Kane idea or if she's going to try to get the Morris in there and stuff. So, we'll see what happens. All right, good. Yeah, nice to have that feedback and stuff. And it's funny because it's definitely... I had also discussed with her that, metal is the main genre that I'm focusing on, but, eventually I would like to branch out and do some other things. So I probably will have these other projects to do, like punk rock or to do, like piano, acoustic guitar, pop rock kind of stuff. So I'll probably use a different artist name for those things as well. And so, yeah, so we'll see what happens. But it's definitely nothing, obviously, I love my family and stuff. I like the Morris, but I guess with so many, where I come from, there's a lot of Morrises, a lot of Colliers, a lot of Shiflets, Stan. And so, kind of just using my middle name, Quincy Kane, kind of gives some uniqueness to it. It's not just, doesn't just blend in with all the other Morrises that are around and stuff. And so we'll see, might happen, might not. We'll find out. Yes, I agree. It's shorter, a little easier to remember, and kind of rolls off the tongue nice. Quincy Kane, instead of Quincy Kane Morris and stuff. But so we'll see. So I'm glad I got y'all's kind of backup on that. So it's not for sure yet, but it's definitely something being considered. But hey, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out and stuff. And I think I am going to kind of wrap things up. So, thank you to you and anyone watching on the replay. If you'd like to support me, I do have a link in the description with a virtual tip jar, and I certainly appreciate anything that you can help me with. If you don't have the financial means to support me, there's also, my biggest goal right now is building an audience. So if you're not signed up to my email list, there's a link down there where you can sign up, and I certainly appreciate you doing so. Along with that, just inviting people to come to the streams, sharing my content, sharing my music so that other people can be aware of it. I really appreciate that, and hope that you would do that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and for watching, and I'll hang out a little bit and kind of answer any last questions that you might have, but sorry if this stream kind of went a little out of order this time around, but I'll try to be a bit more structured on the next one. I think next time I am going to share more about the performance side of things. So rather than going into the production, we're going to assume like we've got the track, and then how do you kind of set things up to perform it? I think that's what we're going to look at. So if you ever have any other suggestions for topics that you'd like to discuss or look into, definitely leave a comment, or you can message them to me through Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and just say, hey, it'd be cool if you did this topic. I appreciate the suggestion. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful evening or morning, afternoon or night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.